Hello friends, in this video we will discuss PSM questions which are remaining. I have already covered 2013 to 2018 questions in part 1, and in this part 2 we will cover 2019 to 2022 questions. So let's start with the first question for today. First question is, daily water supply considered adequate to meet the need for all urban domestic purposes. So if they ask about a single answer, then it will be 135 liters per capita, and the range is from 135 to 200. So best answer among the following option will be option number D, which is 150 to 200 liters per capita. If they ask about rural domestic purpose use, then it will be between 50 to 100. So answer here will be option number D, 150 to 200 liters per capita. According to Factory Act 1948, maximum permissible working hours per week are. So here two questions can be there. One is asking only about the maximum permissible working hours, and the other question can be including overwork also. So here answer will be 48 hours, which is asking about maximum permissible working hours. If they ask to, or if they include overwork also, then answer will be 60 hours. So answer here will be option number A, 48 hours. 60 is for overwork. Diseases under international surveillance include all except. So Laos-borne typhus fever is there. Relapsing fever will be there. Paralytic polio is also under the international surveillance, but yellow fever is not included under the international surveillance diseases. So answer here will be option number D, yellow fever. Next question is, late pregnancy calorie requirement is. So if we talk in general, then in first trimester calorie requirement is between 1800 to 2000 kilocalories. In second trimester it is 2200, and in third trimester it is 2400. So according to this answer, the nearest answer is 2300, which is option number D. If we talk about if we talk directly, then for female, calorie requirement per day for normal female is between 2000 to 2100, and for in pregnancy the extra kilocalories which is required is plus 350. So according to this also, answer should be 2450. So it is again near to 2300. So answer will be option number D here. For which vitamin RDA is determined according to protein intake? So among the following option number A, thiamine, niacin, pyridoxine, and vitamin B12. So for pyridoxine, RDA is determined according to protein intake. For pyridoxine or vitamin B6, RDA is equals to 2 times RDA of protein. So it is double the RDA of protein for pyridoxine. Answer will be option number C. Which of the following is not an appropriate detection and prevention measure of SARS? So option 1 is effective isolation of SARS patient in hospital. This is true. Exit screening of international travelers. Yes, this is also done at airports. Effective isolation of SARS patient in hospital, home, and airport. So it should not be done at home or airport. So effective isolation of SARS patient should be done only in hospitals, not at home and airport. So this option is incorrect. timely and accurate reporting and sharing of information with other authorities or other government. So this is also true. So answer here will be option number C, which is not true for SARS. National Association of the Blind, NAB, a voluntary organization which came into the existence in. So this is a fact based question. Answer here will be option number A, 1952. National Association of the Blind, NAB, came into existence in 1952. Next question is, which of the following is not a national socio-demographic goals to be achieved by year 2010? So this is an old question, they are asking about 2010. So this question will not be considered now. Which of the following is not an indicator of physical quality of life index? So they are asking about PQLI, and one other thing similar to this is SDI. So if we talk about PQLI, then in PQLI knowledge will be there, which mean literacy, and SDI also knowledge will be there. Then in PQLI, infant mortality rate is considered, and in human development index, income is considered. Then life expectancy at 1 year age, and for SDI, life expectancy at birth is considered. So which of the following indicator is not present for PQLI among the following option? Infant mortality is present, income no, literacy will be there, and life expectancy at age of 1. So answer here will be option number B. Income is not an indicator for the PQLI. It is an indicator for Human Development Index, HDI. Concept of primary health care come into limelight. So concept of primary health care came into limelight in, this is a fact based question again, it came into limelight in 1978. The concept of PHC is given in 1978. There are dash level of prevention in relation to the natural history of the disease. So we know that there are four levels of prevention. One is primordial, then primary, secondary, and tertiary. So there are total 4 levels of prevention. Answer will be option number B, 4. Next question is prevalence is. So prevalence is a proportion, and prevalence include both old plus new cases, and it is a proportion. If we talk about incidence, then incidence is a rate. So prevalence, the formula for prevalence is old plus new case upon total population into 100. And incidence will include only new cases, not old cases. Which of the following demonstrates highest correlation between variables? So if we talk about correlation, then it varies from -1 to 0 to +1. So maximum range is from -1 to +1, and they are asking about the highest correlation. So they have not mentioned whether the negative correlation or the positive correlation. So here we will select the maximum number, which came between -1 to +1. So first option is R equals to plus 0.25, second is 0.05, third is 0.75, and fourth is +2. So +2 cannot be answer because range is till +1 only. So answer cannot be option number D, and among the ABC the highest number is 0.75. So highest correlation between variable will be minus 0.75. Option number C. Best measure for central tendency in highly skewed data. So if we talk about highly skewed data in which the peripheral values have cannot are not from the normal series and they are highly skewed, then we will use median for this. Overall best for central tendency is mean, but for skewed data or highly skewed data it is median. Which of the following vaccine is contraindicated in pregnancy? So we know that in pregnancy most of the live vaccine are contraindicated except yellow fever and recombinant vaccine and killed vaccine can be given during pregnancy. So among the option, first option is MMR, which is a live vaccine. Rabies is a killed vaccine and hepatitis is recombinant vaccine. So MMR cannot be given because it is a live vaccine. So answer will be option number A. It is contraindicated. Live viral vaccine is, so among the following option, it should not be bulk, it should be Salk. And Salk is a killed vaccine. Measles is live vaccine. Hepatitis is recombinant. And rabies is killed vaccine. So among the following option, live vaccine is measles vaccine. Option number B. Which bacteria will not cause foodborne infection? So if we talk about the option, then E. coli, yes, E. coli can cause foodborne infection. Salmonella also cause typhoid or the enteric fever, which is foodborne infection only. Campylobacter can also cause, but it is more related to the Guillain-Barré syndrome or the post-infection diseases. So Campylobacter is related to the Guillain-Barré syndrome, and Pseudomonas again can cause the food poisoning or the foodborne infection. So E. coli, Salmonella and Pseudomonas can cause foodborne infection, but Campylobacter directly is not related to the foodborne infection, and the disease which is caused by the Campylobacter is Guillain-Barré syndrome, which occur after the infection of Campylobacter. Which of the following demonstrate the highest correlation between the variables? So this is a repeated question. We have already discussed it. Answer here will be 0.75. And best measure for central tendency in the highly skewed data, answer is option number A. So these two questions are repeated in 2019 and 2020. These two questions are repeated in 2019 and 2020 both exams. The number of independent members in a sample is, so among the following option, the number independent member is in a sample is degree of freedom. And if we talk about the degree of freedom, then what is the degree of freedom? Degree of freedom is x minus 1 into y minus 1, where x is equals to number of columns, and y is equals to number of rows, and it is a number independent member in a sample. Most common cause of secondary postpartum hemorrhage is, so they are asking about secondary postpartum hemorrhage, not the primary postpartum hemorrhage. So what is the difference? If we talk about primary and secondary, then less than 24 hours it is primary, greater than 24 hours it is secondary. So trauma is primary cause, atonicity is primary cause, bleeding disorder is again a primary cause, and retained products of conception, this is a secondary cause for postpartum hemorrhage. So among the following options, option number D will be the correct answer. If they ask about the most common cause for the primary postpartum hemorrhage, then it will be a atonic uterus, atonicity of the uterus. All are true about quarantine except incubation period is useful in determining the period of quarantine which may be advised. Yes, this is true because quarantine is the quarantine is done for maximum incubation period. This period is usually equals to the minimum incubation period. No, this is not true. Quarantine period is equals to maximum incubation period. Restriction of healthy contact is done. This is true. And quarantine measures are applied to prevent the spread of disease, reservoir of the disease, or vector of disease. So this is again true. So answer here will be option number B, which is an incorrect statement. All are true about isolation except. So hospital isolation wherever possible is better than home isolation. This is 100% correct option. A purpose of isolation is to protect the community by preventing transfer of infection from reservoir to the possible susceptible host. This is again true. The duration of isolation is determined by the duration of communicability of disease. This is again true. It is restriction of healthy contact. No. Isolation is the restriction of case or the patient. So answer will be option number D, which is an incorrect statement for isolation. Isolation is done for patient or the case. All are true about chicken pox except. So chicken pox is transmitted from one person to another by droplet infection and by droplet nuclei. This is true. The rash is symmetrical if first appear on trunk where it is abundant and then comes on the face, arms, legs where it is less abundant. This is also true. So firstly start with the trunk, then it will then it will spread centrifugally. A characteristic feature of the rash in chickenpox is pleomorphism. This is true because all stages of the rash is present at the same time. Scab begin to form in 10 to 14 days after the rash appear. So this is incorrect statement because scab begins to appear after 5 to 6 days only. So answer will be option number D. It should be after 5 to 6 days. And if we talk about the chickenpox rash, then their dew drop on rose petal like and mainly on the flexure surface. All are true about rabies except. So the incubation period of rabies is usually 20 to 90 days. Rabies in man is a dead end infection. This is true. And first option is also true. And Negri bodies are observed in all cases of rabies. No, this is not true. Though Negri bodies are present in the rabies, but it is not observed in all cases of rabies. So this is an incorrect statement. The most characteristic pathological finding in rabies is Negri bodies. This is true. So answer here will be option number C. The Negri bodies are not observed in all cases of rabies. Under the program Mission Indradhanush to cover children against vaccine preventable disease except. So among the following option, diphtheria is under the Mission Indradhanush, hepatitis is also there and polio is also there. But rabies is not considered under the Mission Indradhanush program. So answer here will be option number A, rabies. Next question is, which of the following is not a part of cost postulate? So option A is The same organism must be present in every case of the disease. This is true. The organism must be isolated from the disease host and grown in culture. This is again true. The isolate must cause the disease when incubated. This is again true. And the organism may not be re-isolated. So this option is not correct because the organism should be re-isolated from the incubated disease host. So answer here will be option number D. It should be re-isolated, not be re-isolated. Vaccine associated paralytic poliomyelitis is observed due to which of the following 7 strains? So there are two types of there are two things, VAPP and VDPP. So one is vaccine associated paralytic poliomyelitis and another is vaccine derived paralytic poliomyelitis. So VAPP is mainly due to Sabin 3 and VDPP is mainly due to Sabin 2, but they can also be caused by Sabin 1 and 2 both. So answer here will be all type of Sabin 1, 2, 3. Mainly it is due, VAPP mainly is due to Sabin 3 but can be caused by Sabin 1 and 2 also, and VDPP is mainly due to Sabin 2 but it can be caused by 3 and 1 also. So answer here will be option number D. All are true about letharism except the toxin present in lethyrus seeds has been identified as beta oxalyl aminoalanine BOA. This is true. The disease affects mainly children between the age of 5 to 15 years. No, this is not true. The letharism is mainly occurs between the age of 40 to 50 years, 4 to 5th decade. An improved method of detoxificating the pulse is parboiling. This is true. And since the toxin are water soluble, they can be removed by soaking the pulse in hot water. This is again true. So answer here will be option number B. The disease affects mainly the children between 5 to 15 years of age. This is not true. All are characteristics of rainwater except. So rainwater is the purest form in the nature of water in the nature. This is true. Chemically it is very soft water containing only traces of dissolved salts. This is true. Being soft, it is a non-corrosive action on lead pipes. So this is not true because it will have a corrosive action on the lead pipes. So this is not true. Bacteriologically, rainwater from clean district is free from pathologic agents. This is again true. Because rainwater is mainly formed due to evaporation. So answer here will be option number C, that it has a non-corrosive action. No, this is not true because it will have a corrosive action on the lead pipes. All are true about invisible fats in diet except. So invisible fats are those which are not visible to the naked eye. This is true. They are present almost every article of the food. This is again true. It is difficult to measure their intake. This is true. The major contribution to the total fat intake is from visible source rather than invisible source. So this is a false statement because major contribution is from the invisible source, not the visible source. Answer will be option number D, that the major contribution should not be from the visible source, it should be from invisible source. All are true about dietary fibers except. So dietary fibers are known to be associated with increased risk of increased incidence of coronary heart disease. No, this is a false statement because dietary fibers is anyhow good for our body, so they are never associated with increased incidence of any disease. Dietary fibers has no metabolic effect. This is true. A daily intake of 40 grams of dietary fibers per 2000 kilocalories is desirable. This is again true. And animal foods do not contain any fiber. This is again true because dietary fibers are mainly from the plant sources. So answer here will be option number A, that dietary fibers increase risk of coronary heart disease. This is false statement. So next question is, all are components of Jai Vigyan Mission Mode project on community control of rheumatoid fever or RHD in India except. So Jai Vigyan Mission Mode includes antibiotic treatment of streptococcal sore throats. This is true. To study epidemiology of the streptococcal sore throats. So this is not true. It is not related to the study of epidemiology. It is related to the treatment for it. To establish registries for RF and RHD. This is true. And vaccine development of the streptococcal infection. This is again true. So mainly Jai Vigyan Mission Mode is related to the treatment of the streptococcal sore throats or the rheumatic fever and RHD, and it is not related to the study of the epidemiology. So answer here will be option number B. As per WHO recommendation, which of the following mumps vaccine strains should not be used in national immunization program? So if we talk about the option, then option A, Rubini, it is not used. Leningrad 3, this is used. Jerry Lane is very commonly used, and L Zagreb is also used. So among the following option, Rubini, option number A is not recommended for national immunization program. True about Rashtriya Bal Swasthya Karyakram RBSK for child health screening and early intervention services through early detection and management are all except. So it will include four things: defect, deficiency, disease, and delay. So option number A, defect at birth, yes, this will be included. Vitamin A deficiency, yes, and rheumatic heart disease is also included under the disease. But treatment of obesity is not related with the RBSK. Though malnutrition will be considered, but not the treatment of obesity. So answer here will be option number D, treatment of obesity. ASHA worker measured SpO2 with pulse oximeter and informed the same to the medical officer. Which principle of primary health care are followed in the given details? So there are four principles of PHC. One is community participation. One is use of appropriate technology. Third is equitable distribution. And fourth is intersectoral coordination. So now in the question it is given that ASHA worker is measuring the SpO2 with pulse oximeter. So ASHA comes under the community participation. And measuring SpO2 with pulse oximeter. So it is a use of appropriate technology. So answer here will be option number A, appropriate technology and the community participation. Correct answer will be option number A, appropriate technology and the community participation. All are true about acute rheumatic fever except. So it develops after streptococcal pharyngitis. This is true. It occurs in poor socio-economic group. This is again true. It is a communicable disease. So this is not true because if we talk about pharyngitis, then pharyngitis is a communicable disease. But acute rheumatic fever, which occur after the pharyngitis, it is not a communicable disease. and seen in children 5 to 15 years of age. This is true. So if we talk about pharyngitis, then it is communicable. But acute rheumatic fever, it is non-communicable. Which vitamin participates in beta oxidation proper as well as synthesis of fatty acids? So this question is related to biochemistry, and we know that in beta oxidation proper and synthesis of fatty acid, they both require coenzyme A. And among the following option, pantothenic acid act as a component for the coenzyme A. So answer here will be option number D, pantothenic acid, which is vitamin B5. The energy requirement kilocalories per day as proposed by ICMR 2020 guidelines for boys aged 13 to 15 years is. So this is a fact based question. You have to remember all of them. So I am not discussing it here. The arthropods responsible for transmission of Kussner-Forest disease. So for Kussner-Forest disease, arthropod is heart tick, and also amplifier is asked for KFD, amplifier or reservoir, which is monkey, and it is related to the forest in Karnataka. If we talk about the trombiculate mite, then it is related to scrub typhus. WHO recommendation for daily iodine intake in breastfeeding women is. So here they are asking about the breastfeeding women. So answer here will be 290 microgram. If they ask about pregnancy, then it is 250 microgram. And in normal females, adults, it is 220 microgram. So for lactation, it is 290 microgram. So answer here will be option number A, 290 microgram. The comparison of cost of different intervention are assumed to provide equivalent benefits is representation of. So the question is saying that if any two programs have the similar benefits, then we will go for the cost minimization analysis, that we will choose the program in which less cost is required. So answer here will be option number 1, cost minimization analysis. When the equivalent benefits are there, if two programs are there which do not have equivalent benefit, then we will always consider the program which has the more benefits, then we will not see the cost. So these are all questions related to the PSM. I have already covered many questions in part 1, and the remaining questions were covered in this video, and this is all about PSM. And I have also made videos on different other subjects also, so you can also watch them on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much.